especially his colleagues. I could see people pointing fingers like, I would want to spoil something now, that kind of a thing. And that's why I think the guy apologized. For owners of the media, we need to train our people. We need to train them not just to be able to write, but we need to train them to have dignity. And in doing that, pay them on time. If I remember when I started my career full-time in the Punch, I started Daily Times earlier, but full-time career in the Punch when I was an assistant editor on graduation, okay, it came with a car and a house. I was given an apartment somewhere close to the office, and I was given a Beetle. I mean,
So why would you be beholden
I was
anyone?
even given an entertainment allowance. If you entertained anybody in the course, Uncle Sam will pay you back. So we had dignity in the job. Unfortunately, the same there are some newspapers and media houses that are owing sometimes 1 year, 15 months. I know one publisher who is quoted as saying that I gave you a meal ticket. So how did you manage to survive for 1 year and you're now complaining? I gave you something to feed on. How sad. And it's a total reflection on society as a whole.
Indeed.
But please, I hope the family would move in and salvage this situation that we have on ground, because he has a following. He has quite a following amongst the youth who don't see life beyond wearing expensive wristwatches and blowing Turenchi, as the case may be.
Why would it be the family that would come on behalf of a full-grown
You want to
adult?
throw me under the bus now?
I'm
the one. No, Bimbo, I'm the one who's supposed to throw you. Why are you asking me?
I'm curious.
Don't be curious.
Why is the family coming in on behalf of a full-grown adult?
I had a Yoruba teacher, and when you read something up to a point and you put a proverb, you say, Owe no, Efalashi. You go and resolve that. Let's move to a safer discussion. Okay. Hey, you're such a naughty person. Did you think I was going to fall for that? Nah. Yeah,
who wants to throw who
because if you translate the family bit, if you translate it to Yoruba, then you got it. Okay, let's get down to Bunmi, which I think you've done before, right?
No, it's my first time.
It's your first time? How come I never got you in? Then you'll be here many times over, because I'd like to know your thoughts on some of these things. Now, do you know Auntie Bunmi Shofola?
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't? Okay. Auntie Bunmi Shofola she's my leader. She's my, one of my mentors. She was in journalism when I was still in higher school, doing my A-levels. And so she's been at this for only God knows. It makes it, anytime I refer to Auntie Bunmi something, then I know that I'm becoming a relic myself. I'm now being called a veteran journalist. I don't like that description. Well, first time somebody said we'd like to introduce a veteran journalist, I thought that there was somebody standing behind me. Anyway, Auntie Bunmi has been at this for close to about 40 years, agony aunt, and it looks like entertainment. I tell people, this Dear Bunmi thing, it looks like entertainment, but believe you me, these are some of the things that affect us on a daily basis. So, and so she writes in the Vanguard. We take some of our questions, some of the requests that's been sent to her, and then we analyze it here. But if you want to read what she's thinking, you have to go buy the paper. So, here we go. Yeah, Jesha, are you ready? This is something written by a gentleman called Boyede. Excuse me. I think Boyede, is it a woman's name, or a lady's name, or a man's name?
I don't know.
I'm hearing it for the first time.
Unisex names these days.
Unisex names these days. Okay. But yeah, you have men who are called Bimbo.
My daughter is called Shiji.
That is true. Are there any female tollers?
I'm sure.
No, I've heard of. Yeah, there are female tollers. Yeah. But there are no female Jimmy.
Are you sure?
No, I haven't heard of a lady called Jimmy. There used to be a lady called Jimmy who worked in Babalakin's chambers way back in the library. So there. Anyway, let's what Boyede has to say. It says, I've been with my boyfriend for close on 2 years and they're in love. Do you believe in love?
I believe that we define love differently.
That was not the question. Do you believe in love, yes or no?
It depends on what you mean by love.
Okay, so you believe in love as defined by you?
Okay, yes. Love has
Okay,
defined
define love.
me. Love has defined me. I mean, it's a
Yes.
choice.
It's a choice.
Yeah, you choose to love.
We could have a debate on that. Do you choose to love or it just comes on?
You choose to love. What that thing that comes on that you are describing
Yes.
is it's a feeling. Love is not a feeling.
Madam.
Love is a decision.
When you see, there's sometimes you walk into a place, you get struck by the thunderbolt. It's happened to me a few
That's
times.
attraction. That's attraction.
And the thing is, it's hot. You keep going after it.
That's
It's attraction.
Yes.
Ah,
Love is a decision.
But sometimes, no, can you decide to fall in or out of love?
It's a decision. You can feel attracted to someone, and you can decide
To love them
or not when you really know who they are.
But what is the feeling when sometimes you love those who are even harming you? Some men or some women are just helpless. Say I'm in love, like a guy beats a woman up all the time. She can't leave because he says, "Oh, I love him."
She has decided to love him.
And suffer.
That's another issue, Brajim. Don't let's go in.
Okay, all right. Okay, Brajim will keep his mouth shut. Anybody here, Brajim now will say that,
he's my babako, so he bullies me sometimes.
I will bully you, but I keep telling you, if you misbehave, we will come with a 2-trailer load, two empty trailers to carry. Okay, so now he says that my former boyfriend was nice but very possessive, but we never did anything together. That's between them. We never know the truth in these things anyway. My current boyfriend is such a contrast, but I'm concerned about his drinking. I told him he has to cut down and he agreed, but a few days later I was back at his favorite beer parlor. Why is she worried? My father was an alcoholic and he used to beat my mom. My boyfriend is different from him, but my experience of drunk has shown me how bad the result can be. The fact that we disagree on this issue puts a strain on our relationship. Apart from this, we are very much in love. How come a woman will be in love under your own definition with a drunkard?
She's decided. She's decided.
But how does she handle this?
Well, I'm glad that we're talking about it from the point of decision.
Decision, yes.
Yes. Now, she's not married to him yet, but she's seen everything about him.
That's very clear.
Now it is clear. So she needs to decide if she wants to be married to somebody who drinks. That is who he is.
And that's a tough one, though. To be married to somebody who drinks every day.
Yes, and she has lived with such a person. If her father was a drunk, who used to beat her mom. Yes. So she should decide if she wants to be a point. But it's not all. There are two kinds of drunkards. There are those who actually get violent, and there are those who, after drinking, they become dithering. There are those like that, and there are those who can be very, very whatever. We don't know which of them this gentleman is, because sometimes people do change after they marry. I will advise her to run for her life. If he's going to change, he will change before.
But her choice of men itself is a bit questionable, because she also had problems with the previous one.
I heard that.
Yes, she said he was. So which is better, to have a drunkard or to have somebody who's very possessive? The issue of the one that is the issue of the one that is very possessive can become a family issue, if you get what I mean, because usually when possessiveness goes beyond a particular point, then it will like say the person may be in head not correct. You could need to why need that it's labor, if you get what I'm saying. So if you have a choice, I think what she needs to do is, don't you think she needs to re-examine herself in the choice of men?
Indeed, she needs to re-examine herself. She needs to re-examine her guiding principles. And if you know that I'm a woman of faith anyway, so she needs the guidance
I don't know.
of God.
Who is a woman of faith?
You know now.
I don't know. Just assume that I know. I don't know which faith. Know
now.
I don't know. What do you mean by woman of faith?
You know that I'm a Jesus girl.
I know that you're a Christian.
Yes.
Whether you're a Jesus girl, I don't know.
That's a Jesus girl now. I'm a Christian.
So I'm a Jesus man too.
If you say so.
You want to if you say so.
I hope so.
Yeah, and I hope so too. if you said to me,
so.
And I hope so too.
Good. So I would like to advise her from that point.
Yes.
Because that is actually the only assurance or clarity that I can give her in that situation.
You don't think she might need to see a professional, like a psychologist?
Yeah.
That would
counselor.
help. Or a counselor. Yeah. That would help.
You could hold her hand through the process, but she needs to leave him for now. It doesn't mean it's the end of the relationship.
See, for example, dear Bunmi says here, it's obvious you have a lingering fear of men. That's part of what she says, and not just of those who drink. Because let me now read what dear Bunmi says and make an exception here. She says, because after all, your dad, the man whose love you most needed, handed you fear instead. He abused drink and the mother you loved and worshipped. The disenchantment has left a cruel mark. As an adult, you resist the intimacy that you think of as being possessive. That's the first one. And she says your boyfriend's eagerness for life must have thrilled you initially, but now his relaxed behavior seems scary to you. Because he fails to control his drinking, you feel uncomfortably confronted by proof that he is, after all, just another man who is unreliable and has faults. But dear Bunmi also says, well, no man is perfect. I used to think I was perfect. Do you think I'm perfect? No, don't answer. I don't trust your answer.
Let me answer.
No. Philip, come and seal her mouth. Why you There's something wrong. I'm distracted. Why would I have asked you such a question? If you thought I was, of all people.
Let me answer
No, Bimbo, please, okay. Please, don't answer.
If you say so.
You can write it down and pass it to me later.
Okay.
But don't answer. But she says, no man is perfect. You should advise your boyfriend to be wary of abusing alcohol. Good for you. Instead of repeatedly condemning his drinking, understand and respect his zeal for living. Well, for you, that you are a sister, you say a Jesus girl. You wouldn't even want anybody who drinks at all. When I say drink, I don't mind casual drinking, but who makes it a habit to tip it like on a daily basis, always have to go to the club.
I definitely would not want to be married to one.
It's too late for you to change your mind anyway. I mean, this one is done for about 20-something years. You can't change him. Yeah, and he's still the best in town.
If you say so.
I say so. Boldly, he's still the best in town. You feel so happy.
What else will you say about your brother?
Okay. But this next one is quite similar. It says Betty. And Betty says that when I met my husband shortly after leaving the university, I thought I had struck gold. You see? Why did you think she struck gold? At the time she met the husband, he had his own house, ran a thriving business, and showed me a lot of love and affection. That's always easy to do if you have the resources. But when I got pregnant, he insisted we get married, and we had a lavish do. He's been a good father to the 2 children of the marriage. But in the last few years, I've been regaled with stories of his forcefully making love to women and even... Oh, God, I can't do that. So he came home with funny smells on his person, and the last straw was when a niece who came to stay during an exam complained he forced, so he's been having forced relationships with the people. And so in the end...
That's raping.
Raping, yes, he's been raping people. And not just raping, he's also been involved in whatever, doing it from the wrong place. And so this is it's a disaster. So she says, I'm not living in a flat with my kids. He's still a generous father, but I kick myself for getting married to such a sex maniac. Why hadn't I seen the signs? She was looking at the wrong things. She was looking at the fact that he had his own house, and he had a thriving business. She didn't have enough time. But this is the story of...
So what do you think are the right things to look for?
Oh, the first thing you want to look at is you want a human being, well-rounded human being, a humane person, okay? A responsible person.
She seemed responsible.
No. Responsible doesn't have to do with success.
He seemed responsible.
For example, if he's raping women all over town, and he's even doing it...
But he wasn't raping before he married her.
No, you're not sure. Maybe she didn't see it. He wouldn't just start as an adult.
Maybe she didn't see it. But he treated her well. So
and not just that. He's doing something that is completely... that would make you tip him over to the other side. So, for me, any man who does what men do to men with a woman is just as good as could jolly well do man to man. So he's probably bisexual.
Well, Jimmy, you can't.
I use the word probably.
Well, what is happening? I think what is happening.
I use the word probably.
I think what's happening now is that pornography is.
It could have affected him.
Yes, and
okay, that's the point.
Gone wrong
that's the point where we'll take a break so I can drink a bit of water, and you can have a break. But also, these commercial breaks. That's where. So it's the Daily Digest with Jimmy Disu. You can call in if you will in the next half that we're going to have. But we'll take a commercial break and then we'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. Daily Digest returns in a moment.
You're listening to Jimmy Disu right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Yeah, welcome back to Daily Digest with Jimmy Disu, brought to you by MTN. And I have Bimbo Akinkugbe in the house with me. Do we call you Mrs. or Architect Mrs.? I don't even know if you have.
Architect is not a title.
But some of your colleagues use it as a title.
I don't know why. It's not a title.
Because if we were to go by titles, then your full complement would be Architect Mr. and Architect Mrs. Architect. It would be Prince Architect and Architect Mrs.
Does it not sound funny to you? Does it not sound funny?
So she fell for this. What are the things? Maybe now is the time to advise the younger ones. What are the things you need to look out for when you want to get married in a guy? Very quickly, what are the things and the signs?
I will tell you what I tell my children.
Yes.
The first thing.
But what you tell the boy is different from what you tell the girl, isn't it?
I tell them the same
both,
thing. Both,
same time. Mm.
The first thing you need to look for is the fear of God. A thriving relationship with the Lord. That's what I tell my children.
But some people hide under that to hide.
No, you will know if you have a thriving relationship with the Lord, God never leaves you stranded. The signs will be there. Now, you might choose to listen. You might not choose to.
Now, is this across all religions, or is your theory?
Well, I don't know about I believe that across, but I don't know. I'm talking about my own. So I said.
So you wouldn't encourage any cross-religious marriages?
For my kids, no.
Is it that you wouldn't encourage or you put your foot down?
If you have children that are growing into adulthood, one thing that hits you first of all is that they have to live their own lives once they start growing. Yeah. You cannot force anything or put anything foot down for anything. You hope that you have raised them right.
Yes.
You hope that you have instilled the right principles in them, and that they will choose right when the time comes.
Okay, so and we pray about it too.
Oh, for sure, that's the most important
I know that
thing.
one. Prayer mama, prayer warrior. Okay, what about the good old traditional system that we had? Tom and Titi labels go and examine the family. Does that still work?
I think it's important. I don't know how to examine, but you do your research. It is very important to do your research. Ask questions and do your research.
And check the family history.
Yeah.
I think where Betty has found herself is a bit unfortunate, but it happens a lot to people. A lot of women don't know the husbands that they've married. And that, I think, also is because, and vice versa, a lot of men too don't know the wives that they've married. And that's because a larger percentage of our population today seem to marry under societal pressure. Oh, I'm 30. I'm getting too old. Let me manage this one. Let me see if I can just manage this one. This one, managing. And then sometimes I youth need to be told that once you see something that is fundamental, don't think you can correct it.
Yes, you can't.
You can suppress it for a while.
And then the society puts so much pressure on them anyway. The mommies are asking,
Yes, so, and the mommies even ask in a very sentimental and emotional.
I'm guilty of it too, I won't lie.
You started asking.
I won't lie.
Anyway, let me go straight to Harriet. Or do I have a phone call?
Can I say one last thing about the lady?
Yes.
This might be a challenge that has developed after marriage.
Yes.
So they need to seek help as well, if he's willing.
Well, the problem with seeking help is that everything you do unfortunately in our society.
Although rape,
they could be stigmatized. You think she should report him to the police? But if the victims are not reporting, do you think she should? I think that she should. Maybe she should call a family meeting. This is back to the family. Okay, but if you want to call it 0700 993 993 993. I think I have a caller there.
I would report someone if my husband raped my niece. I would
report. Okay, yes, that you would do that. Hello, morning.
Hello, morning.
Morning, sir. Who's calling?
Jimmy Disu.
Is your name Jimmy Disu?
Actually, I just thinking aloud.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I should just remain anonymous because it's a bit sensitive.
Well, if I insisted on a name, I'm sure you just tell me your name is Bartholomew, and there's nothing I can do about it.
I do call him once in a while,
Okay.
Andrew.
Okay, just go on. You have 1 minute.
I'll just say the.
Your name is anonymous. Anonymous, you have a minute.
The first aid kit pharmacist.
Okay.
Right. About 20 Fadika day. I've known him since we were teenagers. He made one very key point. When these guys go abroad very early, it causes a lot of problems. And when I said Jimmy Disu, I have a feeling I had known you in the 70s. Sonia and I had a brawl in a Koi club in the 70s. And it came out of something like this. You know who I am, blah, 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 no. And he missed a great opportunity. He could have just answered that guy, the journalist, that, I transferred myself. And then ask the guy, this is your question. Why are you asking this question? And that would have brought up a lot for a lot of Nigerians to have known, and given him much credibility. For he flunked it. He messed it up. It's just unfortunate.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
And then the Augusto thing you mentioned the other day, I'd say, from my Martinez side, the Augusto thing, so you can know where I'm coming from. Let me just leave it like that.
Okay, now. All right. I have a fair idea, but I don't know how to pin it down. But yes, all this, do you know who I am, a former distance, these are childish and imbecilic things you hear in the lower class, GS class, when two people are fighting. No, not at that level. I'm surprised. Well, I'm not surprised. I say, do you know who I am?
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, I hear you.
Yes, my name is Funsho.
Morning, sir.
Yes. Uncle Jimmy.
Sir.
Talking about FFK. If you check if you check his Twitter handle, he has apologized. He said he was advised by somebody to apologize to that journalist. So if you check out his Twitter handle, he has apologized.
Okay.
Long apology.
Okay, that's good.
Thank you.
So fine. I haven't seen the Twitter handle, but it's sad that a 50-something year is going to be 60 next year. He needs people to tell him to apologize. Well, I think the family must have stepped in like us. Family and friends must have stepped in. But if he has apologized, that's it for me. I wanted to say it ends there. It ends there, but it starts another issue entirely. Hello, morning. Hello. Morning.
Hello, Uncle Jimmy.
Morning.
Good morning, Uncle Jimmy.
Morning.
Now, Uncle Jimmy, what you were talking about, you see, the truth is that many women always see the mistake, but they choose to go with it. Most especially when money is involved. Uncle Jimmy, let's say that guy that is a drunkard now has no kobo. Will that woman say she's in love with him? On a serious note.
Real love, you never know.
Real love, Uncle Jimmy, will no go happen. Not women of today.
You never, I know. You can't say that now.
Can't. He can't see Uncle Jimmy if he doesn't have something he's putting
That's
on
why
the
I said
table. No love without
decision.
something. Women today, they believe you have to put something on the table to love. And that is why when something is coming, why do you think Agberos have the most beautiful wife? When something is coming, Uncle Jimmy, when something is coming, they fail to see all your wrongs.
Okay, thank you. Oh, okay. People, where did that come from? That Agbero have the most beautiful wives.
But it is true.
But we always look at beauty at the external, from the external point.
Yes.
And with the kind of makeup that you have these days, I'm sure some of them, after parading the woman, when the woman wakes up in the morning, they might be in for a shock. The bottom line is we need to dig deeper into the things that we do. I don't think being beautiful or pretty or whatever is an all in all. That doesn't hold for me.
So
okay.
It's the same thing the men do. The women, he's accusing the women of doing is what the men are doing. The women are looking for money, the men are looking for beauty.
But these days, in relationships nowadays, everybody has to put what he has on the table. When it comes to marriage and things like that. I believe everybody has to put what he has. Nobody wants to marry a liability.
No one wants to marry.
No, nobody wants to.
But you can marry potential.
Oh yes,
Because
but potential is an asset.
There's a lot of materialism these days. So it's okay to have your parameters, but it's not about cash.
No. It's not. In fact, it's more about because look, you might have cash today and not have it tomorrow.
Exactly.
Right. Diana is complaining. This one. I think. Let me find out who wrote this one, because he says that he's too attracted to his computer. So I wanted to check the name to see if they were referring to me. Because let me admit publicly that I've become a computer and phone addict. And to be honest with you, I almost had to. I had to mention it to a professional, to say, and I was giving some tips. One of the tips is that when you go to bed at night, leave your phone in your sitting room and just go into your bedroom. Same thing they tell you, don't have a TV in the room. But when the guy was advising me, I was saying to him, I said, this one don't know say in Nigeria they can call you from the gates that God this to jump the wall, something happened.
No, that's what you think.
That's what I think.
If there was that issue, they wouldn't need to call you. You will still find a way. People are addicted to their phones.
I'm addicted, and I think.
I'm not addicted, but I do spend too much time. I know.
Yes, I'm addicted. I think my job doesn't help either. You keep sniffing, looking for. I'm always in front of my computer, almost even to the detriment of watching TV. But usually the two are on. Can you believe that? Anybody walking in whilst I'm at work and play would say that. Say, okay, so which one are you doing now? The TV is on. The laptop is on.
I tell someone that he's talking to his girlfriend. That's his phone.
Yes,
his phone is
his girlfriend. I think a lot of us are addicted, and this is what Kate says. He says, I currently live with my partner. We used to have a very exciting social life, going to nightclubs, parties, and hanging out with our friends. But since he got a state-of-the-art personal computer, it's been nothing but him glued to the contraption and slight opportunity he gets. Any slight opportunity he gets. Do you think it's a phase he'll outgrow, or should I be worried? I think you should have a talk with him and probably take him for professional advice. We do need it. For those of us who are addicted to these gadgets, it's called a gadget addiction. We do need professional help. I need it. Do you need it? This your friend that is, this your person, I don't know who he or she or it is. Does he or she or it also need?
He needs it.
So maybe all of us should pack ourselves in one car and go. And have a joint, whatever. I will read what Bunmi says here again. I really wouldn't want to, but I'm compelled to. Because part of it, because then I will also be able to talk to myself. She says, as we've sadly found out, computers are extremely addictive things, and men are very addictive creatures. Never has there been an invention that can take up so much of a man's time so pointlessly, perhaps with the possible exception of football, beer parlors, and pornography. So what should you do? 1, don't attempt sabotage. He'll just spend days fixing the bloody thing, and when he traces the problem back to a blob clopping up his disk, the finger of blame will inevitably point at you. So don't go and smash his computer. I think that's the first thing.
I think an addiction to computer is something. It's easier to deal with than an addiction
if it's
to
not
alcohol
at home or it's with another babe.
Yeah.
So I know loads of women that who would be glad that their husbands are addicted to laptop rather than getting. And you know that when it comes to extramarital relationships, the other side is always sweeter. I'm not talking out of experience or anything. I'm just saying, so stop looking at me like that.
Did I ask?
I don't like the way you're looking at me. Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? Stop looking at me like that.
How do you know now?
I don't know. Your eyes just went thin. You are looking at me like, hey, and then I'm sure your mind went back. It went all the way back to this side of town. If you get what I'm saying.
Which side of town?
What is Jimmy to say here now? Now I'm just saying that I hear that you know it's like I said, it's better for you to have a husband who is at home addicted to the computer and whatever it is. Maybe one of the things to do is to occasionally tinker with the generator, because you hardly have light anyway.
Let him enjoy his life.
So that you can see him.
Yeah, and take your time to talk through it, you know. Everything, life doesn't have to be
perfect. Okay, what about joining him? He carries his laptop, you carry yours, and then you can veer him towards
get a life, and if you're exciting, he won't be there all the time, don't worry.
Can you give our listeners some tips as to how to distract a man from his laptop to something more exciting?
You don't need any tips.
but you
Hey.
Hello.
Thank God I got Uncle Jimmy today.
How did this come in?
Uncle Jimmy school.
Who is this?
This is George. What has the Jagwe?
How did you smash into our system here? We didn't even see you calling. Okay.
Pardon?
Very quickly, what's your name?
Okay, George. What has the Jagwe?
Okay, go on.
Uncle Jimmy. Firstly, the attitude of a man is not based on where he grew up or where he's schooled. It's just his nature, his character. Because so many people schooled abroad and they came with good character. And Uncle Jimmy, there's one observation. One version I've observed over time is about this your common saying that Christianity brought down Africa. Please, it's wrong. I think it's a wrong mindset. You know, the same Christianity, they took it to other nations and they built it. They used it for their own. I think whatever happens to Africans is just our attitude. There's no religion that is bad. Okay, look at now.
Hello, it's gone. Oh, sorry that you went. Well, I never said that Christianity brought down Africa. You probably took what I said out of context. What I said was that Christianity was used as a vehicle, you know, to to de-enfranchise our people's minds about other things in Africa. I remember when I was growing up, to wear buba and chokoto, you were a bushman. To do this, you were a bush and that. But that's not the subject.
I don't
for
think it's
discussion.
because of Christianity.
It was used as a weapon.
I think it's just the mindset. That we have. It's the
Okay.
same way colonialism seems to. There's still like a colonial mentality
here.
Yes,
the same even applies.
To a job. You're there. Somebody else with a lighter skin color comes. They would rather give him. They'll give him the same job.
Let's talk about lighter color.
Why?
Because I'm getting towards my complete disdain for bleaching.
No, I'm not even talking about bleaching now. I'm talking about like an expatriate will come to quote for the same job and they're ready to pay him 10 times what they pay in Nigeria. So it has nothing to do with Christianity.
No, I know where that is coming from. We spoke about
mindset.
it. We spoke about it just before we came on air. Bimbo, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
We have
my
to.
Babauko.
Yes. I hope my weekend pandemic is sorted.
Yes, an ecosystem.
No. Okay, that's where we'll end it for today. We'll be back again tomorrow. Tomorrow we have Libros Ashoma coming in, and he's going to talk about the Nigerian Bar Association and talk a bit about Kama. Also, hopefully, we will get an official from Virgin Atlantic. We'll be able to call them and take them on for 10-15 minutes and find out how prepared they are for takeoff. So that's what we'll be doing tomorrow. Please remember to follow my Twitter handle @JimmyDiso. It helps for you to get a better understanding of these things. And so you listen at 7:30 and then come listen at 9. I was telling somebody yesterday that gradually I'm moving towards doing almost what I would call a daily discourse because that's what it is. But I'm having fun and I hope you're having fun out there. And always, please always try and find time to also go to my blog, jimmydisu.com. Anything I've done under the sun is right there. Femi Fanekayade has apologized, and I think we should just leave it there. And I want to join him to apologize to all of you to let sleeping dogs lie. The family will take care of the rest. Bimbo, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for having
Collins,
me.
Thank you very much. Collins is coming on next. And Philip, we are not leaving yet. He's already at the door. He must be hungry or he wants to use the convenience. Philip, thank you very much for being here. We'll be back here same time again tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.